keke was under bondage.
According to how it was happened, the keke rider backed two people at the two sides in front of the keke.
I will confuse them to come to the market.
Congratulations to the media. You have done incredible work.
In earnest, it will show you what it does.
The Senate observed that PPP has consistently engaged in underhand dealings.
Since the man just come back, nothing to talk to followers.
When your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet 101.1 FM News at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Planet Radio 101.1 FM, revolving around you.
In the news at noon, the federal government confirms receipt of 1.69 billion as COVID-19 eradication supports donations. House of Representatives faults federal government spending on school feeding program. Nigeria records 573 new COVID-19 cases. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump signs executive order to improve police treatment of African Americans. In sports, Cricket Australia Chief Executive Kevin Peters resigns over handling of coronavirus crisis. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon, welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM with you. I am Bright James. The federal government says it received a total sum of 1.69 billion as COVID-19 eradication support donations from April 1st to May 31st. Director, Information Press and Public Relations Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Henshaw Ogubike, made the disclosure in a statement in Abuja. Ogubike said the donations were received through designated commercial bank accounts in the Central Bank of Nigeria / Treasury single account, recalling that recently the federal government, through the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, opened accounts with some commercial banks through which the donations could be made. He said a breakdown of the 1.69 billion naira received from the inception of accounts indicated that a total donation of 792.12 million naira was received from April 1st to May 8th, while 894.64 million naira was received from May 9th to May 31st. He said out of the sum, the total amount received through commercial banks was 710.07, while 187.56 million naira was received through Central Bank of Nigeria / Treasury single account. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has condemned the rise in the incident of rape and gender-based violence in the country. In a statement from his office, he also voiced his support for victims and survivors of such crimes, describing rape as a brutal crime that attacks the mind, body, and soul. According to the minister, such acts must not be allowed to continue to take root in the Nigerian society, and the ministry will champion the fight against the dastardly act as prescribed in the National Youth Policy. Dare therefore called on the Nigerian police to review their methods of investigating cases of gender-based violence and rape with the objective of solving them with minimal pain to the survivors. He also challenged civil organizations to deploy the use of technology to support their work against the social menace, adding that policymakers should be fearless and make laws that would deter future offenders. Senate President Ahmed Lawan has said the National Assembly would ensure that Nigerians benefited maximally from the nation's power sector for improved supply. Lawan said this when he declared open an investigative hearing on federal government interventions in the power sector, organized by Senate Committee on Power entitled Power Sector Recovery Plan and COVID-19 Pandemic to investigate the viability of 1.8 trillion naira federal government interventions in the sector since privatization. Lawan, who said that the nation was yet to get it right in power, noted that Nigerians could not be competitive in international trade and make significant progress without electricity. He said the National Assembly was concerned, hence it mandated its committee to investigate the sector, adding that the Senate would soon consider the report of the Committee on resumption at plenary. The Senate leader said there was need for Bureau of Public Enterprise to look at the shared purchase agreement undertaken with the stakeholders at privatization to make the sector better. According to him, there is need to review the power purchase agreement as Nigeria is losing billions of naira monthly without supply of electricity because of the agreement. The House of Representatives has faulted federal government's claim of spending 186 billion naira on its school feeding program by the National Conditional Cash Transfer Office. The House Committee on Public Account picked holes in the spending while grilling the national coordinator of the school feeding program, Temi Tokbe Sianke, coordinating officer, National Safety Nets, Abra Riowa, on the disbursement of 64 billion naira out of the 186 billion naira said to have been so far spent on feeding pupils' public schools. Chairman of the committee, Olawale Oke, particularly described it as outrageous, unacceptable, and demanded a complete audit of the program with immediate effect. Chikaye told the committee that the feeding program had been ongoing since 2016 when the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs initiated it and had so far gulped 186 billion naira. She said 63.2 billion naira was spent in 2018, 32.2 billion naira in 2019, and 124.4 billion naira in 2020. Nigeria has recorded 573 new cases of the novel coronavirus, according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC). In a tweet via its official handle, the NCDC also said that the nation recorded 4 additional deaths within the past 24 hours. The country's total infections have now risen to 16,658. As has become normal, Lagos reported the highest number of cases with 216 new cases, and Rivers was second with 103 new cases. Of the number confirmed, the NCDC said that 5,349 persons have so far been discharged. A ghastly motor accident along Akonitam, Itu Highway in Akwa Ibom State has left 3 persons, driver and 2 passengers, gravely injured in a vehicle conveying food commodities into the state. According to an eyewitness, Bright Udo, who was seen helping to salvage what was left of the goods, the vehicle was not in good shape and the driver sped before the incident occurred. Other onlookers further observed to Plans News that the car somersaulted twice before it landed far on the sidewalk.
The motor just from upper side, they send down, they come. Then the tire burst. Then the motor somersault one time. Yes, there were 3 people. And the one person is conscious, all in front. They don't got them from this side, don't burst. Driver with 1 person, nothing happened. Don't know how it will happen. Then rush them to hospital. Then the 3 of them. That's why I want to take care for their goose. Nakari and Orange. Full load. No overloaded. And the car not strong. The car don't rotten finish. That's why as the tire burst, the motor opened into 2. It tumbled 2 times before it landed there.
Our correspondent reports that amongst the 3 passengers in the vehicle, 1 was worse hurt with injury to the head. However, security agents were on hand to ensure everything went orderly in the red flagged zone. You're listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. You're listening to a breather, then bring you more stories from the foreign sports and entertainment scenes. Just stay with us.
So, my son, welcome to the Kalangolo Shrine. The gods are with us. What can I do for you?
Baba, the way do me oh.
Ah.
And I even sick self. I think say him give me HIV.
Eh? No.
What do you mean, Baba?
No way anybody fit use witch give you HIV. If anybody tell you that one, na lie dem talk. Because witch no fit give person HIV.
No matter how the wind strong, nobody fit give or carry HIV from witchcraft.
Thanks for staying with us. Now on the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump will today sign an executive order that will seek to improve how police officers treat African Americans and others by improving credentialing, training, and mental health resources. The order comes after Trump struck a strict law and order tone in his response to protests around the country, sparked by the death of an African American, George Floyd, while in police custody in Minneapolis. President Trump has reportedly faced criticism from Democrats for his response, and some allies are concerned that his handling of the protests and the coronavirus pandemic are hurting his and other Republican leaders' chances of re-election in November. Elsewhere, North Korea has blown up its joint liaison office with the South near the border town of Kaesong. The move comes after the North renewed threats of military action at the Korean border. The site, which is in the North's territory, was opened in 2018 to help the two Koreas communicate. In sports, Cricket Australia Chief Executive Kevin Roberts has resigned after months of criticism over his handling of the coronavirus crisis. The 47-year-old was criticized for his cost-cutting measures, including asking 80% of staff to take a pay cut. He was appointed in October 2018 following James Sutherland's 17-year tenure. Englishman Nick Hockley, the chief executive of the T20 World Cup, has replaced Robert on an interim basis. On the entertainment scene, Hollywood actor and producer Tyler Perry has offered to pay for the funeral expenses of Rayshard Brooks, the 27-year-old black man who was fatally shot by a white Atlanta police officer over the weekend. Brooks' attorney Chris Stewart made the disclosure while thanking Tyler for the offer. Brooks, a father of four, was allegedly killed on Friday night after running away from an altercation with two white police officers in Atlanta. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. The news, we told you that the federal government says it received a total sum of 1.69 billion naira as COVID-19 eradication support donations from April 1st to May 31st. The House of Representatives has faulted federal government's claim of spending 186 billion naira on its school feeding program by the National Conditional Cash Transfer Office. Nigeria has recorded 573 new cases of the novel coronavirus, according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. On the foreign scene, we told you that U.S. President Donald Trump will today sign an executive order that will seek to improve how police officers treat African Americans and others by improving credentialing, training, and mental health resources. In sports, we reported that Cricket Australia Chief Executive Kevin Roberts has resigned after months of criticism over his handling of the coronavirus crisis. For comments and coverage of newsworthy events in our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. Visit our website on planet101fm.ng. Follow us on Twitter at planet_101fm. Also like our verified Facebook page at planet101fm. The news was edited by Basi Ibiarisogo and supervised by Otobong Pili. And to end the news, do not forget to continue the COVID-19 education and observance of all laid down guidelines, especially with the current reopening of churches. I am Bright James. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening.
It's rising like the sun and shining forth, sustaining life like never before. It will never set. Planet Radio Station 101.1 Uyo, Nigeria. Don't touch the dial.
Ataufa. Ufio bufio.
Bradley.
We dey carry am, come give you.
Speak out. Matters we pinch you and how you want to scratch them.
Even if your voice is shake.
We jam every Saturday, 8:30 go reach 9 p.m. 8:30 go reach 9 p.m.
And on Sunday too, 9 to 9:30 p.m.
As the station where they revolve around you, gidigba, only for Planet 101.1 FM. We call
Information and entertainment make a good collabo on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. we bring back all the fond memories on Planet Oldies.
In December 2019, the news of coronavirus outbreak in China went viral, and we were wondering what it was. Today, coronavirus, the unseen enemy, is part of us. What has characterized the attitude of Akwa Ibom people in respect to this pandemic is our carefree lifestyle during this period. There are genuine fears that relatives and friends could hide people with the virus symptoms, thereby endangering their lives and that of others. Dear people of Akwa Ibom, we are now face to face with coronavirus, and the only way to reduce the impact, amongst others, is adhering to the instructions from the state government and health officials directly responsible for checking the spread. Staying at home will help the state control the spread because the effect of the virus is devastating. We should all observe social distance and also wear masks when communicating or staying with others. Please, if you experience any symptom associated with the virus, kindly present yourself to the state COVID-19 response team in any of the local government areas close to you, or call the NCDC numbers made available to you. We should all be honest to ourselves, else the consequence could be devastating. Remember, my safety is in your hands, just as yours is in mine. Let us stay protected. Let us stay safe. We are the Planet Radio with our visionary tagline, revolving around you.